It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Wednesday, November 28th, 2018. It is 7 a.m.
It is a nice morning this morning.
It's a nice morning outside.
I like the cool, crisp morning, so
Do you?
It's a nice morning.
Not bad, yeah.
It's not too bad.
Took the little dog out for his morning tinkle break. It was like 19 degrees out there.
It's funny because you can tell how quick the dog got in and out by what time Dale,
by the time Dale gets here. Dale's here at 6:50.
Yes.
The dog got his duties over early.
The warmer days, the dog takes a little more time outside. So Dale will be here a little later.
Anyway, good morning and welcome to Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, along with Scooter Callis. And things are good.
You throw "and" out there. You got to have "and" something.
And
can't just
how are
end it
things
in
going
"and."
with you?
Going good.
Yeah.
Going good. I had a good night and getting ready for that wrestling tournament.
I started to say you got a big day come up Saturday.
Yeah.
What time will you start? Around 6 getting everything, or 5?
Well, no. Setting up, I'll be setting up all night Friday.
Yeah.
Hopefully get out of there before midnight Friday night. But and then Saturday I'll probably be there about 5:30 in the morning to finish getting the last loose ends. And
hey,
we're hoping to have about 180, 200 wrestlers through.
5 mats and 2 gyms for the wrestling tournament. Yep. It's going to be big. Hey, we're enjoying Brood Awakening Coffee. Hope you're doing the same thing. 3 locations to serve you in Mountain Home. We have Balmer Boulevard, which will be getting busy here in a little while. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, and of course 62 East Plaza out by Anytime Fitness. Brood Awakening Coffee. If you're not drinking Brood Awakening, you're just drinking Mighty Water, right? What do you
there
drink?
you go. I
haven't
got
got
my
back
water
on the coffee yet, and it's been cold weather.
I don't know. I don't know. I drink a little bit coffee here and there, but
yeah, I do too.
when we get yeah, you a little bit. When we get
the IV bottle back here.
When we get that snow for Christmas, I'm predicting I'll probably drink some coffee.
There you go. Hey, check out Brood Awakening Coffee. They are the best coffee in town. They've got all kinds of flavors, all kinds of blends. You name it, they've got it. Mochas.
Cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls.
They've got cinnamon rolls. I don't care. They got cinnamon rolls.
They got cinnamon rolls.
And they're huge and they're good.
I need to bring some in on Friday. It's what I need to do.
You need to bring
Be sure
some
to check
in,
out Brood Awakening Coffee. 2 drive-thrus and 1 walk-in. Of course, the lobby at Baxter Regional Medical Center's main entrance. Check them out. We appreciate Mike and his gang for sponsoring the show. Brood Awakening Coffee been with us for quite a while. And so be sure to check out Brood Awakening. Morning prayer is brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas. When the need arises, Roller Funeral Homes across the state, with all our respect. And like Bob Rechtenwald said a couple Mondays ago, had one of his clients says, you need to tell Dale to talk about pre-planning. So let's talk pre-planning. I'm sure that after Thanksgiving, later in that evening or early on Friday morning, the kids are with mom and dad and say, well, you're getting up there, what's what's coming up next. It's time to pre-plan. So check out Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas. When the need arises, Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect, very, very professional folks, and I can speak firsthand from that. So
and you're going to have to do the morning prayer this morning.
I'm going to do the morning prayer. So brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes. So let's pause for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, I'm reminded of a song that says, if you're coming to San Francisco to wear a flower in your hair. That, of course, was from the Summer of Love around 1967. Ironically, this era was one of the most violent in our history. Lord, if we consider the violence, drugs, and sex that took place in what I call the Woodstock generation, we can now see what has come of the so-called Summer of Love. We fight substance abuse to this day. Marriages fall apart, children born out of wedlock, and then children can be killed before they're even born. Lord, it's time we as Christians became real leaders. It's time our churches work to reach people for Jesus Christ and not just be comfort zones. Lord, I pray you heal our country, and that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes across the state of Arkansas. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes.
There you go.
Right.
Now, dun, dun, dun.
Hey, you tuned the trumpet. Oiled those valves and everything. Wow, did you put some Brasso on that thing?
No, my dog just used the restroom early, so I had time to get ready.
Morning weather brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square, Mountain Home. Let's check out the daily specials.
Oh, right. Today we got breakfast burritos for breakfast.
Ooh.
Comes with hash browns, $5.88. And they're big burritos. You ever had one?
Uh-huh.
They are good. Sometimes I bring them in.
Yeah.
I like the burritos. For lunch, you got a choice between the ham and beans or liver and onions. Both come with 2 sides, rolled cornbread for $6.88. Can't beat it.
Can't beat it. Old Time Restaurant on the Square, Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, on Saturday till 11 a.m. Best breakfast, best lunch in town.
There you go.
You guys were packed on Monday.
Yeah, they've been keeping us running this week. We've had a lot of to-go orders this week, more than usual.
I started to say you were hauling it out by the box loads by 12:30 on Monday. My
It's
goodness.
just been crazy. I guess people still in town from Thanksgiving kind of roll over and just grabbing some food, taking it home. But
be sure to check out Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Best breakfast, best lunch in town. Let's check the morning temperatures. We're starting the day in Mountain Home at 26 degrees. It's 25 in Harrison. Hardy checks in at 27. It's 23 at Mountain View, 24 at Yellville. Marshall at 23, Calico Rock at 26. Around the region, St. Louis is at 20, while Poplar Bluff is at 25. Of course, southeast Missouri there. Southwest Missouri, Branson 28. South central Missouri, West Plains at 24.
And there's something wrong with this one.
And it's actually warmer in North Dakota than Mountain Home, Arkansas, or most of Arkansas, Missouri. It's 32 in Watford City, North Dakota, but we're in the mid to high 20s right here.
There's something wrong with that.
I need to bring up this graphic right here, Scooter, if I might. I'm going to knock out the temperatures, but I need that graphic. Severe potential for Friday. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but we do have some warmer temperatures coming in starting today, tomorrow, and Friday. And they're saying that we do have a chance of some severe weather. So most of Arkansas is in this yellow pattern here. You've got Greenville, Mississippi, Shreveport, Louisiana, of course, Little Rock, Fayetteville, and places like that. Mountain Home and north central Arkansas on the fringe. Northeast Arkansas is marginal. But there is a chance for some showers, some thunderstorms, so we need to be aware of that. On the national radar right now, spotted showers, thank goodness. Rain in California now, I think they're starting to talk about mudslides. All the grass is gone because it burned out. Now it's raining, finally.
Yep. One thing leads to another.
Tell you what. Showers showing up in Nevada and California, Oregon and Washington. Scattered precip through Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, over into Nebraska. A little bit in central North Dakota, over into the eastern part of South Dakota, northwest Iowa got a little bit. Picking up a few little wisps over here in Kansas and central Missouri. Right now I don't see anything in Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, or Arkansas, or for that matter, Oklahoma. So let's check that Little Rock stop, shall we, Scooter?
Yep.
Little Rock radar showing nothing on the scope right now. All highways are clear. 62 412 east and west, Highway 65 north and south, Little Rock to Branson. Highway 167-67 from Little Rock, Batesville, Poplar Bluff. Interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, and 555 are clear. We'll back out and go to the state of Missouri and see what we have here in the St. Louis area. You do have a little bit that's showing up on the St. Louis stop. It's west of Columbia on I-70 and north of Columbia on I-70. Then we have a little bit affecting Lebanon, between Lebanon and Rolla on I-44 as you're going traveling that particular interstate there. You can see I-55 coming in from Sykeston, Cape Girardeau into St. Louis with no activity there. I-64 from East St. Louis, Illinois, east Mount Vernon. It's clear right now. I-70, Columbia, St. Louis, Vandalia, Illinois to Effingham in good shape, as you see on the radar. For southwest Missouri.
Uh-oh, look who's coming in.
Uh-oh. Well, we just may have to let her do a prayer.
There you go.
All right. Now in Missouri, you can see you got some activity here from Rolla back over just north of West Plains. It curls back into the Kansas City area. I-70 being affected, I-44 being affected there. From Tulsa, Joplin, Springfield, Lebanon, nothing on I-44 there. And so.
All right.
Let's see. 7-day forecast. What do we got today? High of 48. Then tonight a low of 40. Boy, that's a contrast there. For Thursday, we have mostly cloudy, then slight chance of showers. High of 61 on Thursday, 20% chance there. Thursday night, 20% chance. Friday, mostly cloudy, chance of showers, 30%. Friday night, 90% chance of showers.
Ooh.
Then look at that. High of 66 on Saturday, sunshiny skies, 55 on Sunday. And, wow. Let's check those highways in Arkansas. Of course, with the warmer temperatures, we're all clear. We didn't get hardly any snow. Missouri really got hit pretty good, and we still have mostly clear around the Sedalia area. That should probably be Highway 50 right there, Interstate 70 towards Kansas City. Just the Kansas City and just west of Columbia there. And what else do I need on there? I think we got everything.
Yeah, I think we're going to need to back up, though.
Back up?
Because somebody just showed up.
So. Well, Brooklyn's here to do the prayer.
Yeah.
So we're going to have another morning prayer here this morning. And so do we want to take a break and reset or just come in and just, what do you want to do?
No, you go ahead and talk for a minute, and I'll put her down at the end. And
okay. So we got community calendar we need to talk about real quick. Brought to you by Affordable Housing, 741.
Stay where you're at.
You're all right, Dennis. We'll let Brooklyn go down there at the other end. While Scooter's resetting the cameras, let's see what we've got here. We have a free chili at Hickory Park, Saturday, December 1st from 11 to 3. Everyone is welcome to join us. Brought to you by Care Center Ministry and Men of Honor and the Ladies of Honor. For more information, 870-701-5078. Check out carecentermh.org. Free chili served by Men and Ladies of Honor at Hickory Park coming up this Saturday. And then throughout the month of November, One on One Salon is teaming up with the Church of Mountain Home for Coat and Toy Drive. Coats will be delivered this Friday, the 30th, and the toys will be delivered on the 15th of December. Coats can be new or gently used in any size. Toys can be for all ages, both boys and girls. And any of those toys will be accepted. Collection centers will be at 101 Salon at 807 South Street in Mountain Home and the Church of Mountain Home at 683 Green Valley Drive in Mountain Home. That's over by Baxter Lab just off of 201 Highway. All donations are welcome along with a prayer for the little ones in our area. And I believe this is the last week for Soul Sneakers registration for the basketball program at First Baptist Church. 4-year-old through 8th grade. You can register online at www.firstbaptistmountainhome.com. If you need information before registration, call 425-5421. Talk to Julie. The games start about the third week of January. Holiday craft and bake sale Saturday, December 1st from 8 until 2. Homemade baked goods, candy and snacks, handmade crafts and unique gifts, Christmas decorations and ornaments, free coffee or spiced apple ciders, drawing for a $50 gift card. For $3, you'd have chicken noodle soup and crusty bread, dine-in or take out from 11 to 1. This is at Redeemer Lutheran Church's Fellowship Hall, Highway 5 North at North Street in Mountain Home. All proceeds support the Ozark Center of Hope. Are we ready for? And
we got I'll just run over the youth tournament that's coming up because Saturday, that's a big one for us. But Mountain Home Flyers Youth Wrestling Club is hosting a tournament right here at the high school gym. And we'll have a lot of wrestlers. There'll be youth wrestlers from the age 5 all the way up to 14. So hopefully somewhere 180, 200 wrestlers. The wrestling will begin at 9 o'clock Saturday morning. So if anybody want to come and enjoy some entertainment. I love the little kids, the 5 and 6 year olds, because they don't know they don't control what they do. They just go. And it's just amazing and hilarious to watch them just go after each other and wrestle around, and it's pretty neat. So if you're not doing anything on Saturdays, come on out to high school gym, and it'll be well worth the entertainment.
Yeah. And now Brooklyn is here from Mountain Home Christian Academy. It's good to have you here this morning to do the morning prayer. Let me tell you about Mountain Home Christian Academy. They teach no Common Core. They take no government funding, so they can use any happy donation that comes around. You call 424-6622 if you can help them financially. These kids get a great education and great spiritual leadership there at Mountain Christian Academy. So Brooklyn, you ready?
Thank you for everything God gave us, and thank you for everything you want, every tree you gave us as well. And we know we love you, God. We pray every single day for you and help the people who need help and the people who are sick. Please help them. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Now that's a prayer.
There you go.
Very good.
I'll tell you what, a fine example of these students right here at Mountain Home Christian Academy. Brooklyn doing our morning prayer this morning. Brooklyn, how's school this year? Doing well? Good. What do you enjoy most?
I enjoy doing work.
You what?
I like doing the work.
You do like doing the work? Yeah. It's fun, isn't it? It's a fine school.
What's your favorite class?
You like math, science, history?
We didn't do science yet.
So
The kid we had in yesterday, he said recess.
I think recess is
Yeah, that's what I figured. I figured you were going to go there.
Mount Home Christian Academy, right across the street from Mount Home Baptist Church on the bypass, north of the bypass on 62412. A fine educational center, Mount Home Christian Academy. If you can help them financially, call them today at 424-6622-715. We need to take a break. I'm out of coffee. You want to take us to break? You know what to do? You look, which camera, Scooter? This
one right
okay,
here.
this camera right over here. Look at that camera. Say, Dale's out of coffee. We got to take a break. Be right back. Can you say that?
Dale's out of coffee.
Be right back.
Be right back.
Tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity and hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Neema's Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas is your home for national and international award-winning pizza. Neema's Pizza offers artisan-made award-winning pizza with only the freshest and finest of ingredients. Each pizza is made from scratch and hand-tossed at the time you place your order. And also check out their calzone strombolis, an oven-baked folded pizza stuffed with your choice of meat. Sauce can be on the side or included inside at your request. Neema's Pizza in Gassville, Arkansas, your home for award-winning pizza.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
7:21, Arkansas Game and Fish is here. Ted and Dennis, yay! Yay. The crowd goes wild.
Easy, we'll sign autographs at the end.
Welcome, gentlemen. Good to see you.
Oh, it's great to be back.
Have a good Thanksgiving?
Ate too much.
Yeah, me too.
I had a pretty quiet one. It was just Emily and me, and but it was great. We still cooked a 20-pound turkey. I mean, the numbers of people have nothing to do with how much turkey is going to be.
That's right.
Served
that
and soup and open-faced sandwiches and all that stuff. Yeah,
we did 2 complete Thanksgivings, one at noon and one at about 5. So.
Oh my gosh!
Oh man. I did one, and I don't know that I could have done 2.
I don't know.
And you know, family members, you can't just go light on one. You have to eat a complete one at lunch and eat a complete one. So
yeah, you need to eat.
Now it's interesting in New England and up where I'm from. Thanksgiving is a big high school football traditional day. That's when all the rival high schools all play each other. So the tradition is to get up early, and those games usually start early.
Yeah, we had that in Belleville, Illinois.
Okay, yeah.
Back in the day, Belleville West played East St. Louis, Illinois.
Yeah,
on Thanksgiving at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Sure, yeah. And of course, it's cold at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
in New England, but anyway, that's we don't do that here because the season's over now, right? Football season, high school season.
December 1st, I think the final championship game at War Memorial.
Oh, okay.
This weekend will end it.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we don't need to go off on that tangent. We got enough tangents of our own to go off on, right? So let's see. Last month we kind of got heavy into the deer hunting. It was, sort of not the beginning of the season, but it was kind of the major upswing. The rifle season was just getting started, and of course now we're kind of winding down on that rotation. The modern gun season closes this Sunday. So for this round, now there'll be a special 3-day modern gun season. For the 3 days after Christmas. We call that the annual Christmas hunt. It'll be the 26th, 27th, and 28th. And that's the same rules as everything else.
And it's still modern gun?
And that will be modern gun again. On the 8th, so excuse me. So the modern gun for this rotation closes on the 2nd. And then there's a 3-day muzzleloader season that opens on the 8th. So a week later we have a muzzleloader season for the 8th, 9th, and 10th. And so that's also a firearm season. Keep in mind, for any of these firearm seasons, especially archery hunters, because a lot of folks hunt archery and that's all they do and they love it and that's what they do. And for the most part, they have the woods to themselves except for during these either rifle or muzzleloader season. Really, really important that you know it's number 1, the law, but 2, it's a really smart thing to do, is make sure you're wearing hunter orange even if you're archery hunting and you're in the woods during any firearm season. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Kind of everybody knows that during the big modern gun season, that seems to kind of be. But then the archery hunters sometimes forget when the muzzleloader starts and when there's a 3-day Christmas bonus hunt or a youth hunt or any of that kind of stuff. You got to be wearing the orange. And if you have a ground blind on public land, that ground pop-up blind, not if you're sitting up against a tree, but if you have a pop-up blind, that blind has to have 144 inches, basically a 12 by 12 patch of orange on each side of that blind.
A lot of the new ones you buy now kind of come with those.
Yeah.
And some of the
Integrated
older
into it.
ones, like the one that I have, for instance, it doesn't have that. You have to add it on to
Right.
it. So.
And a real simple, cheap, quick fix for that is go to Walmart or any place else that sells the inexpensive fabric orange vests. Buy 2 of them, cut them in half, and pin them onto the blind.
There you go.
Right.
And that'll cover you. So that'll keep you not only safe but out of trouble as well. So those are the deer hunting seasons. Of course, we don't have a huge duck hunting contingent here, but the ones that do hunt waterfowl are pretty serious about it.
Oh, yeah.
This part of the world, or this part of the state, I guess is probably a better way to put it, really gets active for waterfowl hunting when everything else locks up. And I'm talking about the rivers mainly, like the White River and the Norfolk River, and the flowing waters. That's the only flowing water when everything else freezes solid. So all the ducks go there, and duck hunters, they hit it pretty good. There's some regulations that you have to keep in mind. You've got to be 150 yards from any residence if you're waterfowl hunting, or to discharge any firearm, but waterfowl hunting in this case. And there's a few other things. The new regulation book is of course out now. In fact, we just finished the first rotation. When did that finish? Sunday?
Yeah. Just about.
And then the next one starts, I want to say, that starts on the 8th. Is that correct? Yeah. December 8th is when the second rotation, and then that one goes all the way through close to the end of the month, shuts down for a few days over Christmas, and then opens back up again until the end of January. So the duck hunting season opens and closes. You really have to kind of watch those dates to make sure that you're hunting in an open season. And again, that's all on our website, agfc.com. Kind of hard to miss it. There's PDF downloads. Dale's got one up right in front of him there, and PDF downloads of our regulation guidebooks, as well as lots of information on where to go and how to do it and all that kind of stuff.
We also have a new app too that has a lot of new information on that.
Glad you mentioned that. Yep, I almost forgot. Yeah, we do, because the iPhone or Android app has been very popular over the over the years. I rely on it heavily. For one thing, I look at it for my sunrise sunset time to know when legal shooting hours are. But there's a lot of other good information and links to all those regulations. Well, they've just completely revised and updated and modernized it, and made it more conducive to the newer, higher-powered smartphones that are available.
Looks like Dennis, you got a youth waterfowl hunt this Saturday and February 2nd also.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Is there a waterfowl hunt this Saturday?
It says here December 1st,
December
18th.
1st.
Sure enough. Okay. Yep.
Just a one-day
event for 15 and younger.
Okay. And
refer to the duck guide. That's the waterfowl guide.
That's the waterfowl guide. Yeah, most hunters are pretty familiar with this guy here, the regular hunting regulations guidebook. Now, that's not the official regulations. That's just a guidebook summary. The official regulations are actually in our code book, which is also online on our website. Or if you were to call Little Rock and ask them for clarification on a regulation, they're going to read from the code book, not from the guidebook. So the code book is the letter of the law, and it's legislated and codified and all that. And
it's not quite as user friendly as that.
No, it's definitely. If you need some, if you're having trouble sleeping, that would be a good thing to read. But that's what they're going to go by in court if you have to go there for not following the regs. The judge isn't going to say, "Well, let me see what the guidebook says."
The best thing to do is go to the website or the app and take a look.
Right. And hold it, because scroll right back up there just for a second, Dale. Are you the one on the page there?
Which way we need?
Yeah, right there.
Yep.
Those phone numbers are really important, and they're in every guidebook and just about every piece of literature we have. One is the main number, okay, that 501-223-6300. There's also a toll-free 800-364-4263. Both of those will get you to the switchboard or the front desk at the Little Rock office, and they'll connect you to pretty much anywhere in our system, certainly in the Little Rock office. So that's kind of any question type of number. However, the poaching hotline and the game checking hotline and all those other numbers, those are all really, really important as well. 482-9262. There's 1-800-482-9262. That's the number to call if you see, spotlights in the field at night, or you hear, one gunshot, on a Sunday afternoon after the season's closed, or something. If you hear half a dozen shots, it's probably somebody sighting in. But you hear that one shot, That's probably, you don't sight in with one shot. I've never been good enough to sight in with one shot. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on.
That's also the number a lot of folks can call too if they see a sick deer, that type of stuff,
yep.
you know, because a lot of times they see that and it's on the weekends or it's on the holidays or after business hours, and so that number is a dispatch number where people are basically monitoring it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah,
so.
and that goes right to the radio room, and you're right. That's the dispatch number. And that's the quickest way to get the attention of whether it's a game warden or an official of some kind, because those guys are all connected by radio. So. The other thing, again, we're sort of wrapping down, but not for the rest of the season. You know, our deer season goes till the end of February, including all methods. But we still get a few calls, and I get stopped when I'm filling up my fuel tank and all that sort of thing about what do I do to tag or register my deer. There seems to still be a little bit of confusion there. And it's actually a little bit simpler than some folks realize, although it's more complicated than it used to be. And that is... you need to register your deer by either going online or calling it in or somehow getting that deer registered within 24 hours of taking that deer. Okay, and there's 3 ways you can get that deer registered. You can either call Game and Fish at those numbers that we just gave there, and I'll give that number again for the deer check number. Or you can go online and do it on agfc.com. Right in the top of the home page is a big hot button you can click, and it'll take you right to the part of the website to do that. The phone number, if you want to call, is 877-731-5627. Okay, so that's where you can call it in, or you can use that new app that Ted just talked about. You can register it that way as well, or you can tag it. If you're going to move the deer and it hasn't been registered, let's say you shoot the deer and you got to drag it out of the woods and you don't have, service. Oh, I got to come back to the not having service part here in a second. But say if you don't register it, but you're going to move it, it has to be tagged before you can move that deer. Now, if you have cell service where you are, the best thing to do is just before you even start doing whatever you're going to do, whether it's gut it out or take pictures or whatever, just break out your phone and get it registered, and then you're done. Yeah. And they will either text you back, or you'll get, if you do have cell service, you'll get a registration number. Keep that number. Do a screenshot, write it down, do whatever you have to do, but keep that check number. It'll be not 4 digits, actually a 4-character alphanumeric number. Keep that. Because you'll need that if you're going to bring it to a processor or a taxidermist or anything like that.
And you'll get an email confirmation too. And the good news about that is then you don't have to sit there and fill out that little written tag, because once you've checked it right there, then you've fulfilled your obligations for that.
And that's where the confusion that folks ask me about comes in. Because if you've registered it, you don't have to tag it. Whereas before, you used to have to tag it no matter what and then register it within 24 hours.
Right.
Some folks are of the impression you don't have to do anything anymore. And that is just not the case. Just not the case. We need to know when those deer are taken.
We need to grab a quick break.
All right.
7:33. Be right back.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians, and our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
Life is too short to wear boring clothes. Welcome to Shabby to Chic Salon and Boutique, where we carry the latest trends and fashions and accessories at prices anyone can enjoy. Feel beautiful while looking fabulous with a large range of fashions that fits anyone's sense of style. You're sure to discover something unique and new at every visit. Shabby to Chic also features 12 professional stylists, aesthetics by Amy J, a nail technician, and 4 tanning beds. Excite your style at Shabby to Chic Salon and Boutique in Mountain Home.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrub stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop.
Come on.
.736, continuing our discussion with Arkansas Game and Fish, Dennis and Ted. Gentlemen.
So Ted, let's talk. Ted is our the supervisor of our private lands biology program, and has a host of biologists scattered around the state that serve the needs of private landowners. So Ted wants to talk a little bit about that. But before we jump into that, Ted, would you mind just quickly recapping the deal about where you can drop the sample for your CWD testing if you want to have that done?
Right. This year's kind of a new effort. Previous years, our biologist was kind of manning some actual drop-off or check stations in that CWD zone. You might want to show that map of the. Can you show the map of the CWD positive area?
Nothing east of the White River. I'm showing here, Marion County,
Right.
of course, Boone, Searcy, and you can see in the.
Yeah, and the good news about that is really even there was not very much addition like closer to Mountain Home. There was like one more positive over there, kind of close to Payette. And then up there, and that one up there, kind of up there on the Bull Shoals Lake, so that we went a whole hunting season and didn't add any more dots closer to Mountain Home, which I would say is a win. There was some more. The new additions that were last year was that Washington County, Benton County, and down there by Fort Smith. So
now what's going to happen? You've got one just up in northern Marion County, like you're saying, that upper arm of that Bull Shoals Lake.
Right.
Can it be? I mean, can it get in the water?
Well, here, where it comes into water is carcasses or that kind of stuff. If a carcass floated downstream or that kind of stuff, that would be the only thing that we would be concerned with as far as it being in the water. CWD it's a prion disease, and it's kind of a complicated deal, but it's a non-living protein. It's a misshapen protein, so it's not a bacteria, it's not a virus. I mean, we wish it was a bacteria or virus. It'd be a lot easier to get rid of.
Because it's that protein.
Because it's that protein. It gets into the soil. It can bind to plants and that kind of stuff. And so it's once it's in the soil, it's pretty much there for life. You can't not eradicate it. So it's
that's scary.
Yeah, it is a scary deal.
Is this part of northwest Arkansas permanently tagged for CWD?
Yes, that will permanently always be a CWD zone. And once it's an always fatal disease. Once a deer receives it, it's about 18 months from the time it receives it to the time it dies. But every single one that gets it will die.
Can it be hereditary in new birth?
Actually, they say that the placenta, believe it or not, prevents that disease. I mean, or blocks it.
Yeah.
But the second the mother licks it, or kind of licking the afterbirth off and that kind of stuff, it's in her saliva, then that deer is infected. So it's interesting though that the placenta though blocks that disease.
Well, that there again is protein.
Right.
Yeah. It's ironic though that we have one south of the Arkansas River, but nothing east of the White River.
Correct. Yeah. In other states, they have determined that natural barriers like interstates and rivers do slow it down. And think of it this way. I mean, deer do cross interstates, and they do cross, but not every deer does that. Those are kind of natural barriers that prevent deer from spreading out into those areas. And so, one or two will, and obviously that's what happened. But and then also, of course, so what we're doing now is we've bought a bunch of freezers, and you'll see these freezers, and they'll be wrapped with kind of a Game and Fish logo on them. And we've made it where the hunters, when we were manning our check stations, we were only doing it on opening weekend, and so that was not providing a hunter. If the hunter wanted to get tested, say this weekend, there was no opportunity for that hunter to do that. Now we have these freezers which are going to be at these locations throughout the whole hunting season, and our biologists will just go by and pick them up and thaw them out and then do our test on them. So
Marion County is the Fredberry Conservation Center at 851 Conservation Lane in Yellville.
Yes.
Newton County has got the Lurton Community Center, Ponca Elk Education Center, Western Grove Fire Station, and Hillary Jones Wildlife Museum and Elk Information Center. Jasper, Arkansas, Western Grove, Ponca, and Sand Gap, Arkansas. Boone County is the Extension Office in Harrison, Omaha Old City Hall, and Omaha. Carroll County Road Department, Berryville, Arkansas. And Randolph County, Arkansas Forestry Commission. Randolph County would be what, Walnut Ridge area?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Searcy County, Whit Springs, at Whit Springs, Arkansas, the EH Club Pavilion. Searcy County Recycling in Marshall. Fulton County Sheriff's Office in Salem, that's just east of Baxter County. Jim Hinkle Spring River State Park at Mammoth Springs. Sharp County NRCS in Nash Flat, Arkansas. Stone County in Mountain View at U.S. Forest Service Sycamore Ranger District. Wow.
Right. We've we've tried to have multiple freezers in the actual counties that are in that zone, and then picked counties on the fringe of that, outside of that zone.
Right.
So
Madison County City of Huntsville Street Department in Huntsville, Arkansas, and St. Paul Town Hall, St. Paul, Arkansas.
And that's a pretty simple process to deal with that. It's basically a freezer. It's not locked. The lid's open. There's big, large plastic bags that you put the head in. We want you to put the head, leave about 6 inches of the neck intact. Put the head in that bag, and then there'll be a 2-part tag that you fill out. Just basic information. It'll have your customer ID number, some basic information, your check number. Remember I said you want to keep the check number when you register your deer. Put that check number on there. Tear that tag in half. It's got the same information on both sides, basically. You fill it out on both sides, tear it in half, put the part in the bag that it says to. There's a zip tie there. You can just zip it, throw it in the bag, and walk away. Take you about a minute.
And we do notify ones that do come, the hunters are the ones that do come back, positive. Now we don't obviously notify all the negatives, because we're testing multiple deer, and so this is a.
But you can go online and check to see if yours is when it comes back, if it's negative, just to verify it for yourself in case you think you missed that phone call or something.
Right.
Well, yeah.
So
anyway,
okay, sounds like a good spot for another break. Take the final break of the day, then we'll finish up with Dennis and Ted right after this. Scooter?
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done, so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
With a large showroom of over 13,000 square feet, the Furniture Depot is your local choice for quality name brand furniture at prices anyone can afford. They carry a great selection of catnapper recliners, power recliners with lumbar support, and lift chairs. Check out Furniture Depot's variety of living room and dining room sets in various styles and designs. And don't forget about their mattress gallery featuring Serta, Symbol mattresses, and adjustable beds. Family owned and operated, that's Furniture Depot, located in the Ozark Shopping Center in Mountain Home.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At Bacco Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact Bacco Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
$7:45, more with Ted and Dennis, Arkansas Game and Fish, gentlemen.
Probably the last thing I'd like to talk about is I am the statewide private land supervisor, which is I'm over 10 private lands biologists, which are they're specialized biologists that work in different parts of the state, and they each cover different counties. I think we got a map here we can show there, and so these biologist jobs, we have some biologists that work on wildlife management areas, that type of stuff. These biologists, their primary role is to work with private landowners, so they're almost like a consultant, so to speak, a wildlife consultant. And so generally what happens, somebody from the public calls and says, I have 500 acres out here, or 100 acres that I farm, and I like some advice on what I could do for wildlife. They call. It's a free service, obviously. It's a taxpayer paid deal, and so our folks come out there, give them advice, and there's several different conservation programs that can offset the cost to landowners to do wildlife practices, and so anyways, like I said, we have several folks, and I guess if you want to scroll down to the addresses and phone numbers there, they're here.
There we go.
Yeah, here for the north central part is Ben Field. He's out of our Calico Rock office. He covers Baxter, Marion, Fulton, Izard, Stone, Searcy, those counties. So, but like I said, we do have somebody, if somebody's listening or from other parts of the state that
Another northeast is Bo Reed in Jonesboro, and Hugh Lumpkin in Eureka Springs.
Yes, northwest Arkansas.
And let's see who else might be affected here. East Central Batesville, Arkansas, Daniel Greenfield there.
Yes. That's around the Independence County and Cleveland County area. So anyways, just give these folks a call, and they'll be happy to come out to your property and give you advice. Like I said, we give a lot of just free advice. A lot of times people don't want to get involved in a federal program. They don't want to be tied down with that, or so to speak. But if they do, there's federal and state programs that can help pay for doing wildlife habitat work is not cheap. So I guess the last thing I'd say is, this is the 200-year anniversary of Henry Schoolcraft, his journey through the Ozarks, and I think you got a map there. He did come through, started up there in Potosi, Missouri, went down, kind of came right down Norfolk Lake, right through close to Mountain Home. Bennett's Bayou area. Yeah. Then kind of went back up to Springfield. Then kind of came back down, through Flippin, that part of the world, and down the White River through Norfolk. So, and why is that important to a biologist? This was 1819. He started, like I said, in November of 1818. So we're in the 200-year anniversary. And he was a New Englander, and he wrote journals. He came down and met and a lot of the trappers and that type of stuff, Native Americans that were there at the time, he wrote journals of how the habitat has changed over the years.
So you were saying, Ted, am I correct that you said that this was kind of an open prairie land at one time instead of heavy forest?
Well,
perhaps?
in the Ozarks, especially around Mountain Home, that kind of stuff, there's lots of documentations. Rats Barren that you see over at Cooper Park. The reason that little settlement there, demonstration area with those houses and stuff is because, Mountain Home used to be called the Rats Barren before it was called Mountain Home. And that's because it was barren. There was a lot of prairie in this area. It was either savanna or it was prairie. So there's a lot of land records that you can go back to look at, and also listen to his descriptions. Schoolcraft writes when he gets into Arkansas and some of these other areas, he says, they were riding for a long time and couldn't find 2 sticks to make a campfire,
really
in the evening. It was hard to, they describe going across great expanses of burned areas, where Native Americans have burned off prairies, that type of stuff, and so they didn't have enough grass to feed their horses because they were just going through black areas,
That's interesting here at Henderson. Back then it was just the river. Of course, the lake wasn't flooded, so you got to cross the river at Bidwell Point at what's now basically Highway 101.
There you go. And if you click on any of those dots there, those are the this person that made this map. Those are like little journal entries. That's kind of small there on that screen, but you can read. What's neat about it, you can click on that dot and you can read. He describes, okay, we camped here for the night, and you can kind of look at that map and determine kind of what what it looks like today versus kind of.
Well, right here I'm south of Elizabeth, Arkansas. Can you be a New Englander, Dennis? in south of Elizabeth, Arkansas in 1818?
That's what you call culture shock. I can tell you about that.
I wish I could read that. It's,
I will say that that website, ozarkhistory.blogspot.com, is a blog that's been put together by the gentleman who kind of pulled all this information together. Ted's going to tell me his name right now because I'm having a senior
Vincent
moment.
Anderson. He's a historian over there at the Baxter County Library, and he would love to talk to you about Henry Schoolcraft.
Have him on the show sometime. That would be an interesting
show. That would be fun.
But anyway, on his blog, he's got links to a lot of Schoolcrafts and others' writings as well. It's fascinating reading. I was reading it last night and this morning before the show just to kind of get caught up. There's some really interesting anecdotes, plus just some interesting kind of episodes that happened along the way, talking about where his horse gets stuck in the slough and what they had to go through to get him. And they went and just leave the horse there. And then they, unpacked all the stuff off the horse and, sad to do it to you, buddy, but there's not much we can do. And they got up on top of the bank where they were and realized, wait a minute, if we leave this horse here, then we're not going to have our big camp pot. We're not going to have our beds. We're not going to have a lot of the things that we're going to need. So they went back down. They found a way to get the horse out. And he goes through the details of all of what they did. Just stuff like that. The day he lost his knife, was a huge issue. If you think of trying to go on an expedition like this without a knife.
In this part of the country, 200 years ago, without a knife.
Right. And, he talks about, too, he meets a lot of these trappers, and, which are, I'm sure, were pretty rugged men for the time, and he talks about how they were basically making fun of him for some of the weapons, like the rifles that he was bringing, or he, like you said, he was out of ammo, or he didn't bring enough ammo, and but he also talks about there's a lot of stuff he talks about, like on Christmas Day, I think they killed 25 turkeys, of course there wasn't no game laws, there wasn't Arkansas game fish back then, So
it's interesting to see his travels in Missouri. Actually, there's a lot along what is now Highway 67, or just west of what's Highway 67.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, highways and interstates, followed natural old historical traces and wagon trails and that kind of stuff. And
he actually came through an area that Fair Dealing, Missouri, Oxley, Missouri.
Right.
A lot of people have not heard of Oxley. I've been to Oxley, Missouri. It's about as big as this room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, where this all applies, and Ted actually brought up a really valid point, and why would Game and Fish even be, I mean, of course we're interested in history as much as anybody, but how does this relate back to habitat and wildlife management and the Game and Fish mission? There's a direct link here, and Ted started to talk about how the habitat and the profile of the landscape was very different than it is today.
Right.
Today, when we're driving through some of these backcountry roads and you're looking across at absolutely drop-dead gorgeous scenery, you're looking at mostly fescue cow farms and cattle pastures and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
and that was not the way it was then. Of course, fescue is a modern-day adaptation, which is great for the cows, and there's a lot of reasons why farmers like to use that, but it's not great for wildlife, and it's certainly not a natural part of the habitat. If you want to see that kind of natural habitat, a great example, in fact, Ted's guys and Ted himself did a lot of work on this. Right over at the Fred Berry Education Center in Yaleville, they've done a phenomenal job of restoring that. When we bought that, what, about 10 years ago, I guess, huh? 2008, 2007, something like that. So 10 or 11 years ago, that was a 450-acre cow farm. It was all fescue, and most of it was either what isn't treed was plowed and sown for fescue, and that was it. They've done a really good job. I don't know what percent has actually been restored, but most of the native grasses and a lot of the native vegetation that was there pre-settlement is back in place now, and they've done that through prescribed burns and through disking and some reseeding. But one of the things that's, to me, fascinating, I'm sure to anybody that looks into this stuff, when you burn an area like that, you open up and regerminate dormant seeds and germ that have been in that soil for hundreds of years, and it's just never had a chance to propagate or to grow or to germinate, because it's been covered over with whatever else is there, such as fescue in this case. So if you clear the fescue out and then let that weed come up and start burning it, man, all these blue stem and cool season and warm season grasses that haven't been there for a couple of hundred years, now they're there. And some of it gets supplemented with seeding, but really an interesting profile. And it's all there. You can go and see it anytime you want.
Not even to mention the forest. The forest here were not historically as thick as they are today. Another thing that Schoolcraft writes in his journals is he talks about in most forest around this area, you could ride a horse at a full gallop and not hit a limb. So try that in the forest today. You're gonna, especially cedar glades and that kind of stuff.
In 200 years, has there been that much conservation in 200 years, perhaps?
Conservation, there's been a lot of, I guess, you had the Smokey Bear campaign, that kind of stuff, which kind of stopped, fire prevention. And
that was big in the 60s till about 1995, maybe 2000.
And that's probably goes down as the best ad campaign in history, but what it has done, it is kind of gave the wrong message that fire is a bad thing, and in the wrong context, it is a bad thing, obviously. But fire has always been a part of the landscape.
Well, let me ask you real quick. We've got about 2 minutes before we have to end the show. You guys, there's things we do in Arkansas called control burns.
Yes.
And we have fire breaks. If California did what Arkansas does, would it be so severe in California?
Well, it's a long-term problem in the western states.
2.5 minutes, right?
Right. The short answer is there's histories of they took fire off the landscape in those western states for so long that you had 100-year fuel builds up, and so when they had a wildfire, it's devastating. If fire had been a part of the landscape a little at a time, then yes, I believe it would not have been as severe. So.
And you'll see a good example of these prescribed burns where they do that is if you drive to, say, Mountain View and go down Route 5 through the National Forest, you can see on either side of the road when they've burned. There's one point I'm thinking by the overlook on the left-hand side. You can see that was recently burned. I think it was last spring they burnt that.
Yes. Don't they do a Buffalo River burn every every 3 years, 4 years?
And all over the state you'll see this, and that's going to save things like those out-of-control wildfires. I mean, of course, I suppose it could happen anyway.
Final minute.
So just remember this one last thing. It's going to happen in February. There's going to be a day when Mountain Home gets smoked in, from prescribed burns and that kind of stuff. from the national forest. And it happens every year.
I know.
And the winds, it settles in. Just
winter
remember that one day, it's going to be one inconvenient day, but it does improve the habitat.
It saves our forest.
It saves our forest, and it improves wildlife habitat. So.
Dennis, final thought? 30 seconds?
Yeah, one, I want to give my phone number for anyone that has a question. That's area code 870-321-5548. One quick announcement. On December 9th at our Whit Stevens Nature Center down in Little Rock, it's right there on Clinton Avenue, right next to the Discovery Museum, all of that. Tim Ernst is going to be doing a show. Those of you that don't know Tim Ernst, I promise you it'll be worth the 3.5-hour drive. He's an Ozark or a local photographer, actually covers the state, but does all of that kind of stuff. Great photographer. He has a wonderful show. That'll be from 1 to 4 on the 9th.
And with that, gotta go. See you tomorrow. Thanks, Dennis and Ted, for being here.